Hi kids! Today we will learn
properties of light, so let's start. Light travels very fast. The speed of light in a vacuum, that is an area empty of matter, is around 3 multiplied by 10 raised to the power of 8 meters per second. It takes only 8 minutes and 17 seconds for the light to travel from the sun to the earth, where the sun is 150 million kilometers away from the earth. Light always travels in straight lines unless it is obstructed by something. Take normal torch and switch it on. What do you see? Light always travels straight unless it's obstructed by some object. Here is another way to demonstrate that light travels in straight lines.
Tootway has thousands of animated videos on math, English, and science to clear the core basics of these subjects.
Take 4 or 5 papers. Hold them one after the other at some distance, like this. And now flash the light on the first paper using the torch. What do you find? The light will hit all papers in a straight line. So it shows that light travels in a straight line. And light can pass through transparent and translucent things, but not opaque things. Stand against some source of light. And as your body is opaque, that is, light cannot pass through it, so it will cast a shadow. That is, light won't be able to pass through your body, as it cannot pass through any opaque object. Here is another example where you can show that light cannot pass through opaque objects, like a torch. Switch it on. And now put your hand over it. What happens to the light? Light is obstructed, as light cannot pass through your hand, which is an opaque object. All shadows are examples that light cannot pass through opaque objects. Next thing we can learn about light is that light travels slower in denser mediums, like water and glass. And light travels faster in lighter mediums, like air, and it is fastest in vacuum. And this is why speed and direction of light changes when it enters a denser medium to thinner medium, or thinner medium to denser medium, because the speed of light changes. Light bends towards the normal when it enters the denser medium, and light bends away from the normal when it enters the lighter medium. Next is reflection. Light travels in straight lines, but whenever it is obstructed by some objects in its path, it is reflected off. And the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. And whenever light falls on an object, some of the light is reflected off and some is absorbed. And it depends on the object, how much light is absorbed and how much will be reflected. Transparent objects let almost all the light pass through them. Translucent objects let some light pass through them and some is reflected off. This is why you cannot completely see through translucent objects. Opaque objects does not let any light pass through. So some light is reflected off and some is absorbed. And if the surface of the object is smooth and shiny, like a glass, water, or polished metal, most of the light is reflected off and very few light is absorbed. And they produce mirror-like reflection, which is called secular reflection. And in case the surface of object is not very smooth or it is rough, they absorb some light and some is reflected off, and reflection is in the form of diffuse reflection. Light is reflected off in many directions and not in a single direction. So kids, today we learned a lot about the many properties of light. Now go ahead and take a quiz to learn more. Bye-bye.